Hello, hello. Everyone okay? Uriah says, hey. Oh, it's still so hot, man. It's still so hot. Aeon says the score prediction. Does that count as a score prediction? Hopefully like 3-0. Hopefully 3-0-ish. Durwood says, good morning, champion family. How are you, Durwood? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. I got some blueberries this week. So some blueberries have grown, which I ate, which were very nice. Also some blackberries. The grapes don't seem to be moving. Remember I mentioned there was one gigantic grape. There's one gigantic grape and a bunch of tiny grapes. They're still the same. But I had some blueberries this week from the garden. So yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, how's things going with your garden? Hope everything's good. I don't know says, "Heh, I'm first. How you doing? I'm so excited for this game. Me too. I've been looking forward to this pretty much all week. I'd wake up on Thursday and be like, oh, it's not Saturday yet. And then I woke up yesterday. I'm like, is it Saturday? And like, oh, it's not Saturday yet. But looking forward to this as well. It's just a shame it's only 90 minutes, but it is what it is. I don't know is going to stick with his 4-1 prediction. Nice. I think 3-0. I'm going with 3-0. I'm going with 3-0. Wirtz Football says, what channel is it on? It's Liverpool website. Durwood says, how long have you been growing the grapes? Maybe it's not there. Yeah. I just got the plant this year, so it's probably a bit early to expect something this year. The blueberries I got last year, so that's probably why they're growing this year. But yeah, hopefully get some next year. Mana Frog says Joe Gomez injured again. Yeah, not ideal. And I think Durwood also said poor Gomez. Yeah, it's not. It must be frustrating for him. I always get slandered for my Joe Gomez support, but I quite like Joe Gomez. But I think it, as unfortunate as it is, it reiterates the need to get defensive cover because Kwanzaa's gone. And Gomez is currently our only cover. And Gomez gets injured, which is a fact of life. Konate also gets injured, which is a fact of life. So yeah, we need to get Mark Gahey or anyone as a kind of bit of a backup. Blakey says, how you watching it? Liverpool website. Daz says, if Liverpool sign Isak, do you think we still sign a centre-back? I think so, yeah. Because Kwanzaa's gone. And as much as I love Joe Gomez, he does get injured. And as we know, Konate also gets injured. So you need some form of defensive cover. I'd go as far as to say centre-back is potentially the next priority area after this is all done. Yeah, as kind of MX is saying there, we need a centre back more than an attacker. P5AM says Gomez is in his testimonial season, possibly. Oh, they're showing the lineup. So Lucas Stevenson on the right. Where is this lineup? This is not the lineup. They've got it wrong. They're showing Gravenberch. I mean, it is the Liverpool website. They're showing Gravenberch in defence. Szoboszlai in holding midfield. I think they're showing that. I think they're showing that wrong. I think they're showing that incorrectly. Todd says Nunes and Diaz didn't even make the bench. Yeah, they're getting sold. There was why is my hat so bent? What's this about? Why am I at an angle? I don't know. Why am I? Oh, it's because the camera's bent. Oh, who cares? The camera's bent. But yeah, I think some news came out, I think 5 minutes ago, where Arne Slot was saying, we'll find out about the Diaz and the Nunes situation after the match. I'm 99%, not 99% sure. I'm pretty much 100% sure that they're going to be gone. C. Smith excited to see Wirtz play and Rio too, 100%. Looking forward to them both. Durwood says, I love the emblem on their kit. Yeah, it's pretty nice, that is. The Diogo J20. I also read something a few minutes before kickoff. I don't know why all this news is coming out before kickoff. Apparently, for the Adidas kits next year, they're going to have a permanent emblem on it, like Forever 20. I don't think it will be that emblem because that says Diogo J. Maybe something on the back or something, I don't know. But apparently, they're going to get a permanent emblem on the next year's kits, which is quite surprising because I would have thought all the kits are already manufactured, they're already in boxes, they're already sitting in warehouses ready to be shipped. So I don't know how they did that so quickly. Fair enough. But yeah, excited to see that new emblem. They're just going to kick off. Tyler Morton is playing. He'll probably be off as well. Let's set the timer. I did double check before we started that the timer's working. It is working. Thank the Lord. I'm a few seconds behind, but who cares? Yeah, so they've kicked off. Durwood feels bad for Kwanzaa. He wasn't that bad to send him off to Ten Hag, especially the latter half. I mean, kind of selling him is bad enough, but sending him to Ten Hag, that's a punishment that I wouldn't wish on anyone. Fish the Goat says hi. How are you, Fish? You still haven't responded to the comment I left on your video, Fish. I check for that every single day, and you still haven't responded to me. Where's Bobby Clark? Says Fish. I don't think he plays for us anymore. I don't know. Says Standard Chartered final. Liverpool versus Milan. Last game between the two, 3-1. Was that the Champions League game? And I feel like Firmino might have scored in that. Michael Moon, how you doing? Says, good afternoon, buddy. What a window we're having, mate. And Ibu to extend. Isak soon or what? Yeah. It's I'd go as far as to say, Salah's through here. Sorry, I was saying I'd go as far as to say it's probably the best window in my lifetime so far. The Isak story doesn't seem to be going away, and Michael also made a good point about Konate there, because there was news coming out yesterday that they've offered him a contract, and it's starting to look a bit more likely than it was. So I'd presume they've made some sort of breakthrough in negotiations. So yeah, man, it's looking good. Exciting times. Whenever I see Lucas Stevenson, I always think of Ed Sheeran. I don't know why. Fair enough, to be fair. I think the Liverpool website did get it right. Gravenberch is playing centre back, so you'll have to excuse my outburst earlier when I was like, why have they got Gravenberch at centre back? But he is playing centre back. I don't know. Says in the 2 games Liverpool have played, they've scored 8 goals and conceded only 1. 8-1. Yeah. A lot of goals this preseason. Yeah, Bobby Clark is at Salzburg. Footballer says, yo bro, I'm back. How are you, footballers? Hope you're well. I was gonna say, I hope you've had a nice weekend, but to be fair, the weekend has only just started. But yeah, I hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're well. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Pulisic scored first, didn't he? And then I remember everyone's kind of heads dropped, and then we scored 3. I think did Konate score a header? For some reason, mentally, in my subconscious, I seem to remember Konate scoring a header in that game. And then I think that made it 1-1. Tropic says, Amarim, get your team right. Amarim stuff is funny. Like he came out with a quote. He came out with a quote yesterday saying, what did he say? something to the degree of, we want to sell these players, but if we can't sell them, we're just going to have to get on with it and deal with it. And it's like, wow. Somehow they've turned the most kind of positive, jovial, up-and-coming manager into a shell of himself who's dreading the season. Zimantas says Liverpool 3-0 Milan prediction. That's my prediction as well, Zimantas. So we are in agreement on that. I agree with you. I'm predicting a 3-0 as well. These shirts look so big on the Liverpool players. Yeah, they do look a little. Are they wearing slightly looser shirts because it's so hot, maybe? Could that be what it is? I like Alisson's purple kit. That's quite nice. WST Viper says 6-0 Liverpool. Wow, I'd love that. I think it will be 3-0, but if it is 6-0, I think we'll all be very happy. Michael says, are they playing in the new Adidas kit today? Nope, it's the current Nike kit. Apparently the Adidas deal starts on the 1st of August. So the next game will also be in the Nike kit, but the game after that, which I think is the Bilbao game. So I think the Bilbao game will be the first one in the Adidas kit. A lot of people hate this current kit, and I don't know why. I think it looks nice with the collars and the lines on it. I think it looks quite classy. Fish says, how good was Suso and Oxlade for us, Reds? Suso we perhaps didn't quite get the best of. I think he had the best moments of his career at Milan. But I thought Oxlade-Chamberlain was very good, especially before he got injured. He was like an attacking midfielder when everyone else was a bit more defensive. So back in the day, Henderson was more defensive. You had Milner who was a bit more defensive. Wijnaldum was a bit more defensive. But then Oxlade-Chamberlain, he was a bit more attacking. So I like that. I like that about him. WST Viper says Liverpool back-to-back Premier League champs and all the other cups. We will be there. What are people's expectations for this season? I guess the window isn't done yet, but once the window is done, it'll be interesting to kind of see what people's expectations are. Yeah, I remember the Konate header, and then I do think Van Dijk scored after that, because I remember thinking, oh, that's so funny that we desperately need a goal and two defenders have scored. I don't remember the Salah one, but you're probably right. To be fair, you're probably correct. Most probably correct. No worry, Michael. No worries. Where are you watching it? Says Jacob. Liverpool website. Michael also says, are you looking forward to Adidas? Which league was your favorite? I am looking forward to Adidas. The thing is, they all look pretty nice. The only thing is, on the leaks, like, it's hard to properly see the shade of the shirt, if you know what I mean. Because if you take the home kit, for example, on certain leaks, it's like a dark red, which I really, really like. But on other leaks, it's like pink, and I'm like, well, a bit like this. And I'm like, I don't like that. You know what I mean? And similarly, the green kit, which is the third one, on some of the leaks, it's a really dark green, and I think that looks really nice. But on some of the leaks, it's kind of more teal, almost blue, and I don't like that. So I think I need to see what the official shades of the colors are, if you know what I mean. And then I think we'll have a better idea. But I think if they can generally stick to like darker shades, I tend to prefer that. P5AM says if Ox played in the 2018 Champions League final, it would have made a massive difference. Yeah, Oxlade-Chamberlain was on fire that year. Was it against Roma that he got injured? It might have been, but it was such a shame because he offered something different, and he was so effective. WST Viper says Liverpool is the best team at the moment. There's a lot of reasons why we are, but I can't be bothered naming them all. I hear you. I agree with you. You've summed it up. You've summed it up, and I think that's. I don't see any reason to disagree with that. How was Emre Can, Shalvi, and Kent for us, Red? Emre Can was decent. Jonjo Shalvi played at a time when the team was at its lowest. So I think even though Shalvi was perhaps average in that team, he had some pretty good moments, if you know what I mean. Like if he played in the current team, he probably wouldn't look as good as he did back then. But to be fair, we did end up selling him. Ryan Kent was more of a kind of backup player. Got loaned quite a lot, but I think he looked pretty good. Looked pretty good for Rangers when he went on loan there. Neom FBA, what do you think the chances for Isak now? Seems super high to me. Rafael Leao is through here on the left, but I don't think anything will happen. And when I say I don't think anything will happen, he's actually just scored. Oh god. Like Rafael Leao's through here, but I don't think anything will happen. I don't think anything will happen. And then he just smacks it into the roof of the net and he scores. What was even happening there? So they just clear the ball on the counter attack. Lucas Stevenson is slower than me after a roast dinner. Yeah, he just basically just got counted. Fair enough. It is what it is. Connor's correct. Okay. So you think they get the Adidas deal and then sign Isak because he's a Adidas athlete? Possibly. Nate Jones says, has the game started? It has, Nate. Started about 10 minutes ago. It's currently 1-0 to Milan. But that is what it is. Harry says, hello, how are you? I'm good, man. I'm good. Not too bad. How are you? How's the shoulder pain? Hope things getting better. P5AM says, fans can't blame Trent for that goal, for goals on that side. Yeah, we can blame, I think it's that Lucas Stevenson guy. You know, the guy that looks a bit like Ed Sheeran, but also doesn't look like Ed Sheeran. So that's why, like, I'm not losing my mind over it. Dawood says, City is going after Newcastle Livramento. Oh my God, Newcastle are not going to have anyone left, are they, as you've said? Newcastle, I don't know what's going on. Is it like a degree of self-sabotage or what? But they seem to be losing all their best players. And it's almost like they didn't have a plan to lose these players, because now they seem to kind of be scurrying about, seeing who they can get. It's a bit bizarre. It is 1-0. DBLFC. Pleased to be back. Pleased to have you back, DBLFC. How are you? Hope you're well. Nate says, oh damn. Yeah. It's okay, to be fair. Basically, they just booted the ball up the field. It was Lucas Stevenson versus Leao. And then Leao just basically ran on through. Van Dijk could maybe have done a bit more, but I felt like he didn't want to kind of commit himself. Did you see the rumor that Madrid are not happy with 66 performance so far? I did see that. There was some sort of news story came out yesterday that which was accompanied with with a bit of text saying it's keeping Xabi Alonso up at night. I'm not surprised. because we did kind of predict that kind of Carvajal would take his place back, 66 would be on the bench, and then end up at Villa in 2 years. So it's kind of going how we predicted. Harry is good, thanks. The pain is all right. Can't feel it anymore. Nice. You have healed up like Superman, which is good to see. Yeah, Newcastle are having a stinker. I don't know what's going on. I mean, there's having bad windows, and then there's that. They're not gonna have any players left, to be fair. Oh yeah, it could be a repeat of the Champions League game. To be fair, that Pulisic goal, from what I recall, Pulisic I think also scored on the counter. Ooh, Wirtz to Salah Salah should have shot there. Wirtz put him through. Salah should have shot, but he played it back to Wirtz, but the defender intercepted it. Salah really should have. I mean, he was trying to be generous instead of just taking a shot at goal. The game looks pretty laid back, if you know what I mean. It doesn't seem to have the intensity of a Premier League game. How good was Joe Allen, Solanke, Klein, and Benteke? Joe Allen was all right. Again, he wasn't really surrounded by great players, so I think his ability was overstated compared to reality, because he looked fine, but he was surrounded by players who were not very good. Solanke, again, we had him as like a youth team player. He didn't really get much of a chance. His career really took off after he left. Klein I thought was solid. As a right back. Benteke was terrible. He was very good at Villa, but at Liverpool it just didn't work. P5AM says Eddie Howe reminds me of Houllier when he came back too soon from his heart attack. Yeah, a little bit. DB LFC says Isak only wants Liverpool, said Fabrizio. Here we go soon. Yeah. It feels like they're kind of just delaying the inevitable at this point. And people have compared it to the Trent situation, but it's not like that at all. Like if we were going to get 130 million for Trent, I would drive him to the airport myself, and I'd buy him a coffee and I'd buy him lunch along the way. So they are, I mean, if they have PSR concerns, 130 million is a way to alleviate that. City hijack Trafford going to Newcastle. What are Newcastle doing? Michael Moon, who's your favourite Liverpool player that isn't a first pick starter? Maybe Conor Bradley? Yeah, I'd probably go for Conor Bradley, who isn't a kind of guaranteed starter. Harry says, well, sometimes my shoulder starts hurting again because I throw with a lot of power and kick on the... What VR? Is this the football game? Or is this like some sort of martial arts game that you're playing on VR? I don't know. You're so harsh. Why are you being so harsh to Harry? We need to be nice to Harry. He's a head boy. He's a head boy of his school, so we need to be respectful. Yeah, and Harry's just like rude. We're gonna come back. Trust me, I have elite ball knowledge. You do have elite ball knowledge, and I guess if I don't know says we're coming back, I'm happy to go with that. Fish says, can you stream tonight? It's difficult. It's twice in a day is quite difficult, to be fair. I am playing a lot of games at the moment. I'm just not streaming them because I don't have the energy. But yeah, I'll see what I can do. But tonight's unlikely. E says, hello, bro. Back from Skiathos, which he said was very good. But yeah, how you doing, E? Hope you're well. Durwood says Isak rejected Saudi, which is good for him. He'd be out. He's out there. He's out there for the love of the game, not money. Yeah, it would be pointless for him to kind of go to Saudi, to be honest. Is that Loftus Cheek? Oh God, Liao. Nah, we should defend this. Got a lot of players back. How good was Luis Alberto? Not great from what I remember. Sebastian Coates, we had him when he was younger, so we perhaps didn't get the best of his career. Danny Ings, very injury prone, but again, when he left, I feel like that's when his career took off after he left. Andy Carroll had huge expectation on him because of the fee, but they didn't quite work out. West Ham linked with Robertson and Gomez. What's your opinion? I'd be fine with Robertson going because we've got 3 senior left backs, which you probably don't need. Gomez, I know he's injured, but again, I'd want to keep him for his versatility and his ability to play multiple positions. That Liao goal was nice. It was very nice. It's on Liverpool website. Michael says, Bradders is a great shout. For me, I love Curtis Jones, mate. Have for years, true Scouser in our team. Yeah, Curtis Jones is another good shout, to be fair. I think that shows the strength of the squad. Like, in the sense that there's so many players who are not first team players. They're kind of on the fringe. Not on the fringe. That's an extreme way of putting it. But they're not first team players, but people still kind of really adore them, which you don't always get at kind of many teams. So I think that shows the strength of the squad. This is Harry's football game. He scored a worldie and made the opposing team celebrate with me. My corner flag straight into the net. I see. Well, it's good. It's good that the shoulder is healing up. Oh my God, what's happening there? Was that Sabozlai? That was Sabozlai. Panic over though, nothing has happened. What? Is that confirmed? Please tell me that's not confirmed. I saw something I saw something today saying it could be Salah. Please tell me it's not Robertson. or is it just a rumor about Robertson? E says, how good? I'm good. How's the streaming going? Yeah, good. Been here for about 20 minutes. Haven't done this for a few days, but yeah, good man, good. I don't know. It says, why isn't Frimpong or Konate in the starting 11? I especially thought about Frimpong, because we've got Lucas Stevenson at right back, and it's like you've got Frimpong on the bench, and you've got Bradley on the bench. Just like start one of the senior right backs, surely. Like, why are we playing Lucas Stevenson there? Unless on the flip side, maybe they're just trying to get an idea of his capability, if you know what I mean. Because they do say pre-seasons for experimenting and all that. But I do think Frimpong will probably come on in the second half. I thought Loftus Cheek was much older, says Durwood. Yeah, he's been around forever. ITW Chris 007 says, what if Luis Suarez stayed? Suarez, you can certainly argue, was the best Liverpool player in the team at that time. I know Gerrard was in the team as well, but Gerrard was towards the end of his career around that time, and Suarez was in his prime. So I think you might see a couple more trophies. How you doing, Zaim? Zaim says, we definitely need a centre-back. Joe Gomez has returned to England with fitness issues. Yeah, I had the same conclusion. So for kind of context, there was a tweet there was a tweet today, I think, from Liverpool's official account saying Joe Gomez has hurt his Achilles and has gone back to England. And I think as Zaim is kind of saying, it reiterates the need and it reiterates the urgency to get centre-back cover because Kwanzaa's gone. So right now, we only really have Van Dijk, Konate and Kwanzaa. Van Dijk, Konate and Gomez. Gomez gets injured, as we've seen today. Konate gets injured. So unless another centre-back comes in, we're gonna be quite short. Michael says, I think Robbo, vice captain, is confirmed. Deserved, in my opinion, leader and massive character in the team. Fair enough. All those points are true. I'm just trying to think, what other candidates could there have been? There could have been Salah, maybe McAllister, but I guess, I mean, thinking about it now, I guess Robertson does have the longevity in the team. Melusi says we need another winger. We can't really rely on Salah all the time. Yeah, I think we relied too much on Salah last year. And I think Salah is quite unlikely to repeat it this year. So would you get another right winger? Would you get another right winger to give Salah a bit of free time? Or would you get somebody on the left wing? YB says, I don't think you guys have strengthened. You have revolutionized your team. That's probably even better. That's probably even better than strengthening. Dawood says they will switch at halftime. Yeah, probably. Oh, Liverpool just scored whilst I was reading the chat. What happened? I didn't see that. I just clicked on this message from Millie and then I just see everyone celebrating. Is it Sabazlai? So they're seeing the replay here. Got booted up the field, possibly to Rio on the left. Rio, I think that might... Yeah, Rio on the left with some skills. Back to Sabazlai. Oh, nice. So it was Rio up against the fullback. So again, this is a assist. This is a assist for Rio. Passed it back to Sabazlai. Sabazlai is still in the box, but on the edge of the box. And Sabazlai did like a looping shot. He didn't like strike the when you like strike the ball from the bottom, you kind of do that. You kind of do that with the ball, and then it loops up. It kind of looped up into the corner. So we can change this back. 1-1. Very nice. Yeah, I don't know. Does live in the US? I think was it West Coast Salinas near. Actually, I shouldn't be more specific, but yeah, I'm just giving this guy details away. But yeah, in the US West Coast. Yeah. Yeah, Salah or Alisson, they would be good choices as well. I don't know, says it's 4:55 a.m. for me. I hear my parents going to work. They might see me awake, saying, "Why are you listening to this random guy from the UK?" But your priorities are in the right place. Sabazlai LFC says, I think Alisson would be good captain of Sabazlai. Yeah, good options. I think that shows the kind of versatility. Oh, there's a corner from Florian Wirtz here. Cleared. Yeah, I was going to say that kind of shows the versatility in the team. Versatility and how there's so many kind of leaders in the team. Wirtz is looking good, man. Like he's dribbling past multiple players, good pass to Salah. Coombs says different roles for the fullbacks. The midfield will look different with Wirtz, and the dynamics of the attack have changed. Trying to fix something that isn't broken is a huge risk. I agree with you. That was one of my concerns. That last year we had a winning formula, and we have made significant changes, not just from a personnel perspective, but also from a tactical perspective, to a formula that was successful. So I agree with you. I've been saying this as well. It is one of my concerns. It's not keeping me up at night, but it is a slight concern that we have made significant changes to something that was working. So let's see what happens, I guess. Alex says Ekitike can play left wing and right wing. Yeah, I've seen a few people saying that. I'd like to see him more central personally, but I guess versatility is never a bad thing. Yeah, it's a Bosley goal. I don't know. It says my beautiful Hungarian central attacking midfielder scored. Indeed, he did. I do think he needs to cut his hair, but other than that, I agree with you. Yeah, I get the impression Tyler Morton, who's playing centrally, is definitely in the shop window. If you guys recall, last year's preseason, Fabio Carvalho played a lot. Then he got sold. Seth Vandenberg played a lot. Then he got sold. So I do think a few of these players are in the shop window. Harry _ Aston Villa says, would you rather have Ekitike or Isak playing for you right now? I'd rather have Isak, because I think Isak is one of the best strikers in the world right now. Ekitike's got potential to be, I guess, but Ekitike, Salah. I think Isak's better right now, whereas Ekitike is more of a player who can develop. Harry also says, where do you think Arsenal will finish this season with Gyökeres paying for them? Fourth. I think Liverpool first. I think Chelsea second. I think Man City third. I think Arsenal fourth. I think, which is controversial to say, but I think this season it felt like their time to win it, when they've kind of repeatedly come close. And I just wonder if kind of getting so close multiple times and failing, whether that eventually has a kind of mental impact on the players. I think Chelsea will do better. People say Szoboszlai is washed. Yeah, most certainly is not. Szoboszlai says, where can I watch it? I don't think it's on TV. Yeah, a few players are captain of their team. Yeah, we have got a team full of leaders, haven't we? Szoboszlai's captain of Hungary, Endo's captain of Japan, Salah's captain of Egypt. I think Luis Diaz might be captain of Colombia. Probably others. Van Dijk obviously is captain of Netherlands. Konate is not captain of France, but he's been captain. Cookie Man says, hi, how are you, Cookie Man? Hope you're well. Do you have a favorite cookie? The best cookies are white chocolate and raspberry. I could eat a whole box of those, but yeah, I hope you're well. Melusi says, who do you think is going to win the Premier League this upcoming season? I think Liverpool are going to win the Premier League. And again, obviously, I'll come I might seem a bit biased with that, but I think Liverpool have strengthened in the right places, and I don't think the other teams have necessarily strengthened enough. Andy says, hello, how's Wirtz doing? Yeah, he's looking pretty good, quite skillful. He should have got an assist for Salah, but then Salah decided not to shoot, which is very uncharacteristic for Salah. Here's Wirtz on the ball now. Passes it to Elliott. But yeah, he looked good. He looked lively. Good passing. Good ability. Harry _Aston Villa says, are you concerned where Wirtz is going to play with Gravenberch and McAllister? Not really. I think Wirtz will probably play in Szoboszlai's position. Because last year, you could say Gravenberch and McAllister, they were deeper, and then Szoboszlai was just ahead of them. So I think this year, instead of Szoboszlai being ahead of them, I think Wirtz will play in that position. Cookie Man says chocolate chip cookie. Yeah, you can't go wrong with chocolate chip cookie. Helixo says Rio looks sharp. He does look sharp. He got an assist for the goal. Very, very skillful player. Can't lie. Michael says fourth. Didn't even need to think about that. Yeah. Cookie Man, aka Chocolate Chip Cookie, says, as an AC Milan fan, I expected AC Milan to counter-attack because this is Allegri's tactic. To be fair, they did counter-attack for the goal. I'm not sure if you saw it. But it was basically, I think it was Liverpool's corner. And then they cleared it from the corner. They cleared it up to Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao then just ran at Lucas Stevenson and scored. So yeah, you are correct. They did score with a counter-attack. Helixo says Chelsea have taken a massive L by selling him. By selling who? Who is the him? Unless I'm being silly. Here's somebody Chelsea have sold. Salah passes it to Elliott, but Elliott fluffs it up. Completely fluffs it up. Harry says, I'm an Aston Villa fan and I'm sorry, but I want to bring this up. Remember 7-2. That's okay. I'll leave it up for you all to have a drink. Because it's too hot. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Rio. Yeah. So he was part of Chelsea's youth setup. And Liverpool basically pinched him from Chelsea. But they offered him a path to the first team. Ooh, who was that? Who was that there? Rio with a pass to somebody. Oh, it's Robertson. It was somebody in the number 10 position just kind of beat their player. And I was like, that can't be Wirtz because he looks a bit tall. But it's Robertson. Fair enough. Rio is looking very light. Again, Rio. Again, Rio. I think one of the reasons Liverpool were able to get him is because they promised him a pathway to the first team, rather than kind of loaning him out and maybe he makes it, maybe he doesn't. And to be fair to them, they have given him a pathway. Abid says, "What channel is the match on?" It's on the Liverpool website, but you got to pay for it. Harry says, "Are you live every day?" Not every day. For most the big games. So basically, for all the Liverpool games, which is like a given, and then any other games if I feel like it. That's the level of consistency. But generally, once the season has started, it's about 3, maybe 4 times a week, which I still think is quite quite a fair bit. Yeah, maybe like three, maybe four times a week. Once the season is, started. Because you have the Liverpool game, that's one. Then there'll be another game the next day. I don't know, Man City, Chelsea, Man United, anybody. Then there's the European games, Champions Leagues. Yeah, we're pretty much here most of the time, I'd say. Right now, things are a bit quieter because it's pre-season, but yeah. Otherwise here most of the time. Harry says, fair enough, I've subscribed, so I'll try to be here. Thank you, Harry. Appreciate that. You'll get to see my attempts at creating YouTube thumbnails. I think the one I created for this match is pretty good. I quite liked it, but yeah, you'll you'll get to see the thumbnails that I create. I don't know. Says what's happening right now. Honestly, not much. It's like it's gone a bit cagey. So currently, AC Milan took a goal kick. Sorry, AC Milan passed it to their defender, and then the defender just passed it straight back to the goalkeeper, and then the AC Milan defender took a long ball, and now it's gone to Alisson. So when like a game is a bit cagey, it's like, okay, this defense is playing it back and forth. They boot it up the field, and now the Liverpool defense is playing it back and forth. It's just a bit cagey at the moment. Looking for a bit of inspiration. Yeah, I think Malusi has summed it up quite nicely, saying, "I'm tired of this game. Both teams are playing like old grannies." Yeah, that's that's a good way of summing it up. It's just quite slow. Someone who is not slow is Rio, and Rio just beat his man again. I'd say the exception is probably Rio. Like Rio seems to be taking his opportunity. Michael says, back to the housework. Take care, bud. Enjoy the game. Have a great weekend. You too. Take care. See you soon. Hope the housework goes well. Again, here's Rio again. The thing is, the match is so small. Like it's hard to see who's who at sometimes. Like it doesn't let you maximize the window, which is a bit annoying. Where can I watch? Liverpool website. I don't want to get overexcited, but like Rio is looking good. Like he's taking his chance. Every time Rio gets the ball, he beats the fullback. Oh God, AC Milan are through. Loftus Cheek to Liao. Cleared. What's the score? Says Harry. It's still 1-1. It should be in the top corner, but like sometimes people say they can't see it. But it should be at the top in the corner. I don't know if something weird is going on with it though, because sometimes people say they can't see. It doesn't come up. Noob SG says, love from India. Appreciate that, Noob SG. Hope you're well. Corner to AC Milan. Cleared by Van Dijk. Also, AC Milan in yellow just looks a bit odd. I appreciate they can't wear their red and black stripes here, but it is what it is. Okay, come on, Liverpool, counter now. Liverpool are countering and they move the camera away. It's like keep the camera on the counter attack. Keep the camera on the counter attack. Like Liverpool are countering, and then they just zoom the camera onto Pulisic's face instead. It's like no one wants to see Pulisic's wrinkles. Keep the camera on the counter attack. That's just nonsense. They did that because Pulisic took a shot 5 seconds before, but like there's a counter attack happening. Like, why are you moving the camera off the counter attack? Shoddy, man. Adosh says, where can I watch the match live? Can't find. It's on Liverpool website, but you have to pay for it. Yeah, Lucas Stevenson ain't it, man. I don't want to be a hater and all that, but I don't see it. So Bosley to Wirtz. Back to the keeper. The stadium is pretty packed, to be fair. Zaim says, hope you're well. Hopefully we manage Rio's minutes. He's still very, very young. But Cetic had a terrible injury when Klopp overplayed him. And Elliott had that injury against Leeds. Yeah, I hear you. I think there's a risk when players are very young, we get kind of super excited about them and then we play them too much. But Cetic is a good example of that. Michael Owen is maybe the most famous example of that. But I agree with you. Kind of manage his minutes, let him mature. Cause he's still growing as well, because he's 16. So I think maybe kind of come on towards the end of games. Maybe kind of play cup games here and there. Oh, good save by Alisson. And yeah, let him get into the team at his own pace rather than kind of forcing the issue. Oh, Van Dijk's gone down. I think he got kicked in the face. He's just holding his head. But he's holding the front rather than the back. I guess that's a good thing. Yeah, Van Dijk might need a bit of assistance there. Durwood says, what a save from Alisson. Yeah, nice reflexes. Oh, it was actually it was actually Alisson that poked Van Dijk in the eye there. Rafael Leão's looked pretty lively, to be fair to him. I think Van Dijk will be okay. I think that didn't look like anything particularly serious. Yeah, it looked like it kind of poked him in the eye a little bit, but he seems to be getting up now, which is good to see. Alisson has got a elastic band around his head. I guess he couldn't find a hairband before he went out. Milos Kerkez is coming on. Is Van Dijk coming off? He didn't look that bad, but it looks like Kerkez is coming on. Is he coming on for Van Dijk? Maybe there's more in this. It's half time anyway. I don't know. So I'm surprised we haven't scored more from these opportunities. We could have been 3-1 up, yeah. I think the one that kind of stands out to me the most is where Wirtz was in the box and he played it to Salah, to the right of him. And Salah should have just shot. But then Salah decided to Salah decided to play it back to Wirtz, and then the defender intercepted it. He'll have a bruise, he's red, and he's swollen a little, yeah. He should be okay, though, long term. It is half time, indeed it is, so we will stop. We will stop said timer. Back to 45. But yeah, it's been an okay half. Kind of what you'd expect from pre-season, I guess. This is quite funny. Newcastle want 172 million euros for Isak. They can want that if they want. But you ain't going to get that. I don't know. It says, I haven't slept all day. It's 5:21 now, but I gotta see this LFC game. I understand. Priorities. Priorities are in the right place. I just found my favorite. You gotta love that, surely. I mean, I guess you could take one of the sixes off, and then turn the other one upside down. That would work. I don't know. It says I'm so tired, but I can't watch because it's Liverpool. Understandable. I guess that's the difficulty with early kickoffs. It's 5:21 for you. It's 1:21 in the afternoon for me. It's probably 8:22 for Durwood. But yeah, the earlier kickoffs they do make it a bit more difficult for everyone. This is wild. Someone's saying, how have the academy produced Rio Ngamoa? Wow, the academy didn't produce him. We stole him from Chelsea. That's what happened. Flixie just woke up. Appreciate that, and I understand where you're coming from. It's been a decent game. It's been a decent game. The players look proper sweaty. It must be so hot. I don't know. Says my 4-1 prediction could still come through because we've only conceded one. We just need to bag 3 more. Yeah, it's certainly possible. And I think you'll see some proper fullbacks coming on in the second half. So that a lot of the kind of attacking threat in the first half went through Rio, went through Wirtz, and this is a team that uses its fullbacks to attack. So I think with Kirkes on the pitch from Pong Bradley, we should do well. Flixie says who scored. Rafael Leao scored the first goal. So it was a Liverpool corner, and then Milan cleared it. Milan cleared it up the pitch. Counter attack. Rafael Leao scored. So it was 1-0. And then maybe 20 odd kind of minutes later, Rio Ngamoa went down the left wing, beat his player, passed it to Szoboszlai, and then Szoboszlai scored long shot. So yeah, 1-1. Durwood says, I had to wake up early to watch this. My dog was not happy. Understandable. Yeah, so 10 minutes and then 26 minutes from I don't know there. It was. I think it might have been. I think it might have been Tyler Morton who lost the ball for the counter attack. I do think Tyler Morton will be off this window. Flixie says, at least we got a friendly because it's been boring recently. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. It has been quite boring recently with kind of no games. I can't wait till kind of we get the normal season back, multiple games per week, and even if your team's not playing, there'll be some sort of interesting game one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the proper season being back. But yeah, this for now, this is better than nothing. Yeah, they're just showing lots of replays over the kind of halftime analysis. I don't know. Says we score one more goal. I was right about saying that we will come back because I have elite ball knowledge. You do have elite ball knowledge. That is true. Oh, they're showing that replay again where Salah really should have taken a shot. How you doing, Careza? Redders says, crazy that Ekitike backwards is Ekitike. Yeah, I saw that the other day. Pretty wild. Whenever someone says that, you're like, wait, is it? And then you check it and you're like, what? Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're just replaying all the goals currently. I don't know. Says, yeah, I got the 3-1 Liverpool versus Preston game right, and also when Mexico won the World Cup versus us. You do appear to be a oracle of knowledge. Keith Constable 789 says, how are the boys doing? Yeah, doing okay. Doing okay. It's a mixed squad, so there's kind of some senior players, some youth players, but I'd say overall teams look pretty good. Most lively player has probably been Rio and Gamoa. Second most lively player has probably been Florian Wirtz. I'm looking forward to kind of seeing the fullbacks come on in the second half, because Bradley's on the bench and what's his name, Frimpong's also on the bench, and Kirkers is also on the bench. I want to see these guys come on in the second half because I think they're key. I think they're key with respect to how Liverpool play. Flixie says, I don't want a season to be like 22-23 next season. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants that. Hmm. I guarantee Jerry gets an assist in the second half. I put money on it, bro. Let's hope so. George says, why they're releasing the kit so late? Yeah, it is a bit annoying. I think it's because it's with respect to when they signed the Adidas deal, and the Adidas deal starts on the 1st of August. Whereas if they had kept Nike, then we would have had the new Nike kits a lot earlier, if that makes sense. Redders says, I think Frimpong comes off the bench and scores 374 goals in 5 minutes, you reckoned? I reckon he can get 373 goals in 5 minutes, but 374 might be a slight exaggeration. I don't know, says, we should be winning this game. We're destroying Milan on the stat sheet. Yeah, I think the lack of kind of width from fullbacks has been a problem. Because you've got Robertson on one, wing, who's not the most mobile now, and you've got Stevenson on the other. Whereas all the senior fullbacks are on the bench. So Bradley's on the bench, Frimpong's on the bench, Kirkes is on the bench. I think we should see those coming on soon. Mohammed says hi. Flixie says our kit is decent. Is that the new one? As in the new one for next year? Or do you mean this year? Yeah, I think 375 goals is a bit much. And 374 goals is a bit much. But I think 373, I think that's possible. Mohammed says Kirkes is coming on, or hopefully Frimpong. Yeah. I think the team just needs a bit more width and a bit more urgency. A bit more urgency, you could say, down the wing. Oh, Flixie's talking about the new kit is decent. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks like I'm eager to see kind of what it officially looks like, because sometimes I've seen a few leaks, and in some of the leaks it's a really dark red, which I really like. In other leaks it's more of a kind of salmon type of red, which I don't like. So I'm just kind of curious to see exactly what it looks like from a shade perspective. I don't know. Says Salah has been doing decent right back this game. I hope Van Dijk doesn't come off, or we could possibly lose this game. I think he'll be okay. From what I saw, what happened, kind of, I think Alisson just poked him in the eye a little bit. So I'm hoping it'd be okay. But to be honest, if there is a serious risk of injury, then I'd rather he did come off, because this game doesn't really mean anything. But from what I saw, it didn't look too serious. But I guess we'll find out soon. Mohammed says Mo needs to take more shots, in my opinion. Yeah, there was that one chance in particular where Wirtz set him up, and instead of taking a shot when he was 2 yards away from goal, he decided to try and play it back. But again, it's just I presume it's just a pre-season thing. Salah is traditionally quite, I don't want to say greedy, but when the season starts, he's a lot less generous. So I'm hoping that's something that will correct itself soon. Footy Live said Mo Salah. I've had Mo Salah today, and I've had Ruben Amorim. I'm just waiting for Enzo Maresca to complete the trifecta. Dawizi says, is Wirtz good? Yeah, he's playing quite good, quite skillful, beating a few players here and there. Good passing, good long passes. Should have got an assist for Salah, but Salah decided not to shoot. I don't know, says, even though it's a friendly, I don't know, really wants to win this game. Yeah. Finley says, think you could sign Isak and get the snake out of my club, please. Finley is just completely done with Isak. I hope so. I see Newcastle linked with kind of Sesko and those types of guys, so hopefully they have a succession plan if he does go. Standards Charter Trophy if we win. Well, that's nice. Reddit says Darwin Núñez for Ballon d'Or. Apparently some news is going to come out about Núñez and Diaz after this game. Because Núñez and Diaz are not in the starting 11 and are also not on the bench. And Slot has said he is going to release some news about Núñez and Diaz after this game. I think it's going to be the fact that they're leaving. But let's see. Second half's about to start. See Gakpo there. I can see maybe Ben Doak. I should really start the timer up again. Okay, second half has started. Zaim says, I think first half highlights the weaknesses that will be the ongoing theme going forward. A couple of build-up mistakes, set piece vulnerability, and counter attack when trying to break low blocks. Yeah, similar sort of stuff really. I think Frimpong might be on the pitch now, and I think Kirkes is on the pitch as well. Actually, can I find this anywhere? If I go on the official, thingy thing, they've got like an official Twitter page, but they're not showing me the subs. What nonsense is this? Does anyone know what the subs are? I'm just trying to find if there's like a list of subs anywhere. Well, I found this in Portuguese. This will have to this will have to do. Mamadashvili, Bradley, Kanate, Simicas, Kirkes. So I think Simicas might be playing central defence. Gravenberch has stayed on the pitch. Jones, Nioni. Frimpong is going to be playing right wing. Doak, probably left wing, and Gakpo. So thank you to Central Liverpool, Brazil, for giving us the subs. Cole says Wirtz is beautiful. Indeed he is. Mohammed says Nunes and Diaz out, Isak in brev. That will make Finley quite happy. Because Finley says, "Oh, I'm absolutely done with him. It's the way he's conducted himself." I understand. If I was a Newcastle fan, putting me in those shoes, then yeah, I understand where Finley is coming from. Second half about to start. I was laying down comfortably. If you lay down too comfortably, you might fall asleep because it is 5:30 where you are. Finley says, how's Wirtz played? Yeah, looked pretty good. Quite skillful, beating a few players. Good long passes. Should have really got an assist for Salah because he set Salah up perfectly, but Salah decided not to shoot. But it's second half now, and it looks like pretty much entirely a new team. Yeah, I got them off that Brazil. I think that Brazil tweet that I found, I think it probably copied them off the website. Oliver says, you play FPL? No, not really. More of a time issue, I guess. Jake says, hi. Cody says, the best place to watch the game, lads. I think it's only on the Liverpool website. I think that's the only place it's being shown. Sleep is no, watching Liverpool is yes. Understandable. Cameron says, give me an Everton player for an edit. I was going to say Calvert-Lewin, but I think has he left? I think he might have left. Cody says has to be a big Rom. So I think we might have to go with Cody. He had left. Eric Clips says Pickford. Cameron's gonna do big wrong. Good stuff. Yeah, Frimpong has basically taken Salah's position, so Frimpong's playing right wing, which is interesting. A lot of people suspected that could happen, and that does seem to be what is happening in this game. RG255 says hi. How you doing, RG255? Cody says, and Salah is drifting into the center or what? I'm not watching. He was in the first half, but he's not playing the second half. But on the first half, where he was playing, he was doing that a fair bit. Halls says, you want all red? Yep. All red video. I think that's the only place to watch the game. I don't think it's on TV or anything. Trey Neone, he's another one. He's another one to look out for. Hull says, "Have you entered the ballot?" I have. We'll see where I get. I managed to get tickets to the Bilbao game, which is in like a week. I entered the ballot for the Community Shield, didn't get that. But I've entered the ballot for the first set of games that came out. Let's see what I get. Oh god, Liao is through again. Liao against Bradley to Loftus-Cheek. Oh god, Loftus-Cheek has scored. Got counted again. Liverpool getting attacked on the counter again. That's not good. That's not very good, is it? Hull says, very excited to see what I get. A lot of people didn't get Community Shield, 6 credits and over. Yeah, it was more of a Hail Mary for me. See if I can get it or not, but it's okay. It's all right. Looking forward to the Bilbao game. Durwood says Loftus-Cheek, yeah. Again, it looks like they kind of countered Rafael Leao on the counter again. Kind of played it inside to Loftus-Cheek, who then kind of slotted it low into the corner. RG says 2-1, no. That's what happens when you have wingers at fullback. Bradley starts the league for me. I'd have to see it back to kind of see who was at fault for that one. Yeah, what is this like Labubu thing? Like, what is this? Is it like a little like furry toy type of thing? Like, what is that? I keep seeing that everywhere, but I don't know what that is. And they said that Ekitike had one. Yeah. What's the beef about them, and what's the big deal about them? I don't get it. Like some people were like passionately like hating them, but I didn't quite understand. They look like kind of like little furry toys. Is it just like the latest trend of what everyone likes? Is that what it is? Yeah, the team's a bit odd. it just kind of seems to be a jumble of players where they're trying to kind of get fitness up, I think. What's a fear? What is that? I don't know what any of this stuff is. You've got one, okay. Well, they can't be that bad then if you've got one. Cody Gakpo with a free kick here from a crossing position. Whips it in. Terrible. Oh, I was going to say terrible corner. But he forced the save out of the goalkeeper. RG had to go swimming. Well, I hope you had a good time. Sub says, how you watching? Liverpool website. Durwood says, Kirkes really puts his whole body out there for tackles and defending. He does. Was it the Stoke game where he tried to tackle it with his head? He did like a diving header with his head. You can't doubt his commitment. RG255 says, how is it 2-1? 2 counter-attack goals, to be fair. We just kind of got counter-attacked twice. Sub says, how was Wirtz? Yeah, looked pretty good. Looked pretty lively. Should have got an assist. But Salah decided not to shoot. Yeah, Milan just kind of very deep in their box. Liverpool just playing it around, trying to see, just trying to kind of find space to get a ball through. Bailey says, "Yo, Rio is so good." Yeah, I'd say he was the standout player in the first half. Just so lively, and not just lively. Like he actually does something. Like, you know what I mean? Like he didn't just look busy. He was effective as well. He would repeatedly kind of get past his fullback. Gakpo crosses into Frimp. Ah, cleared. Curtis Jones. Frimpong. Cross it in. Cleared. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time seeing the back of the shirts. I can't read the number or name. Anyone else? Me too. They're using like a different font. It's like some sort of like dragon inspired font. Let me see if I can. But they're not using the normal kind of white font. They've kind of stylized it. For Asia. Let me see if I can find you a picture. See? They made like a kind of fashionable font with some roses on it, some lettering, which I understand. But equally, if you've got red writing on a red font, it makes it a bit hard to see. Zaim says, "Will there be penalties after?" Probably not. Probably not if we lose. Apparently, this is for some sort of trophy. So I guess it's for some. I guess if we draw, then there might be. Yeah, it's because they're in gold as well. Yeah, it makes it like you could argue that the kit generally is red and gold. Oh god, they've scored, but the kit's more important. The kit generally is kind of red and gold, and then the lettering is also red and gold, which makes it a bit harder to see. Well, it's 3-1 by the looks of it, so I guess I don't know was correct, but just the wrong way around. Let's see what happens. Again, there's too many players up the pitch. Again, the countering. I think down the left-hand side this time. I mean, that was quite nicely done, to be fair. Just keep getting done on the counter here. Okay, don't embarrass yourselves now. Come on. Wake up. Yep. It is 3-1. Score has been updated. That is a saving grace. Kit does look quite nice. Dawood says, I can't find my glasses. I've been packing because we're moving, and I think I already packed them by accident. Certainly could have done. Certainly could have done. To be fair, I generally don't need glasses, and even then, I'm finding it quite hard to read the shirt numbers. I think just a combination of the color that they've picked makes it quite hard to read. Zico says, when will our new kit be announced? August the 1st. I don't know, says, how are we losing 3-1 to AC Milan? You, to be fair, got countered for all 3 goals. But to be honest, I can't say like I'm overly fussed. Like, I just want the players to get... Ooh, I think Gravenberch just hit the ball there. I just want the players to kind of get fit and not get injured. Pixel says, heyo. How are you, Pixel? Hope you're well. It's hard to see if that was a I think that might have been a save. I think that might have been a save from the Milan keeper. Is Morton... Why are they bringing Morton back on? So Morton played... So Morton played the first half, and then they took him off, and now Tyler Morton is back on. Mush says, too many young players without experience. Yeah, it is a bit odd in the sense that they play like a team in the first half, and then they play another team in the second half, and now they're bringing some of the young players back on. I feel like they're just kind of putting them in the shop window to kind of see what they can get from them. Pixel says, must be super humid in Hong Kong too. Yeah, I can feel the humidity through the screen. Yeah, it doesn't help. Derwood says, hey, Pixel. Milan with the ball again, but I think Liverpool have too many players back now. Although it would be funny if they scored, but I don't think they will. Pixel says, Estupinian has been a class signing for Milan. Good player. He has been good signing, and he did have a very good year last year. Pixel says, heyo Derwood. Malusi says, yes, we need Isak. To be fair, I mean, Isak wouldn't hurt, but equally, I think a lot of the issues, Frimpong, have been of a defensive nature. Just kind of repeatedly getting countered. Pixel says, outside of any of the Liverpool signings, who do you think gets signing of the season? Outside of the Liverpool signings, from a Premier League perspective? From a Premier League perspective, none of the other really signings really kind of jump out, to be fair. Because who else has gone? I mean, Cunha's gone to Man United and Buemo, but I don't think kind of any of those players really kind of stand out, if you know what I mean. Arsenal have got Gyökeres, but he doesn't really kind of particularly stand out. I'm just trying to think. Oh yeah, João Pedro. Yeah, João Pedro. João Pedro for Chelsea. He's looking pretty good. SB says been good on the ball. Just caught on the counter too much. Yeah, pretty much. All three goals were kind of counter attack goals. It's more kind of an organizational thing. Dawood says Arsenal fans are gonna feed off this. They're the best team in Hong Kong. It gives them something to celebrate. Before they start complaining about the board again in November. Because average fans complain about the manager, but sophisticated fans, they complain about the board. So that tends to be what they start in November time. Malusi says Liverpool need to sell the whole squad. Not really, to be honest. I mean, it's a pre-season game. They're more trying to kind of get the players fit. So they're bringing young players on, bringing young players off, and then bringing them back on again. Like Ben Doak is playing. I like Ben Doak, but I feel like a lot of these players, they're probably putting them in the shop window. So I think Ben Doak, they're probably putting in the shop window. I think Tyler Morton. Did I get that wrong? Or did Tyler... I swear Tyler Morton was playing the first half. And then they brought him off at half time. And then they brought him on again at 60 minutes. I know you can do that in pre-season, but they don't do that. Oh, was it till the water break? Okay. So yeah. Because I had a feeling I wasn't imagining that. Because I definitely saw him at the start. And then I saw him come on again. And I thought, what's going on there? Pixel says Jean Arias won't get signing of the season, but he's going to be great for Wolves. Yeah, I hear ya. I think the trouble with Wolves is you could definitely argue they're kind of one of the favourites for relegation, and then typically the players who play for those teams, even if they have a really good season, they tend not to kind of be favoured for these kind of awards. Matthew says, "What do you think is happening with the?" Yeah, I don't know. I found that so weird because he was in the attacking midfield position, and I was like, "Is that Florian Wirtz? He looks a bit tall." But no, it was Robertson. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Is he doing like his best Trent impression from last year? It certainly looks like it. Noah says, can't believe we might be getting Isak. Can't lie, that would be pretty nice. CR7 says, hi, how are you, CR7? Yeah, inverted wing back, yeah. I was hoping that would kind of be the end of that once kind of 66 left, but now Robertson seems to be doing that. The weird thing is with that, like, I'd presume that Robertson is not a starter. Like, I'd presume Kerkez is going to be the starter. But then when Kerkez is playing, I don't think Kerkez would invert. He feels more like a player who'd kind of run up and down the touchline. But I guess we'll find out this season. We will see what happens. Noah says apparently Nunes is going to Saudi as Isak turned it down and wants to go to Liverpool. And I think if Nunes does go to Saudi, there is then quite a lot of money in our bank account to fund another striker. So with respect to this game, Nunes is like not in the squad. He's not even on the bench. Luis Diaz is also not even in the squad. And there was a quote from Arne Slot just before the game today where he said, after the game, I'll explain what's going to happen with Nunes and Diaz. So I think there could be some sort of movement because, like, logically, why else would he leave them out? And why else would he say, I'll tell you after the game what's going to happen? So if Nunes and Diaz were to go, how much money is that? Probably like 120 million. I mean, if Pixel is saying Diaz is gone, then it's a given. He said, my sweet prince. Pixel has been Luis Diaz's biggest advocate, we could say. But yeah, I think if Pixel says it's Joe over, then it's over. Matthew says the same with Connor and Frimpong. They ain't gonna feel themselves right away. Yeah, they have to kind of get used to it. Matthew also says Rio playing over Chiesa. Come on, guys, give the lad a chance. Is that give Rio a chance or give Chiesa a chance? Noah loves Diaz. Noah has loads of Diaz shirts. Good to hear. Pixel says, I think so. I can't see why he wouldn't play otherwise. Yeah. They're like logically kind of looking at the evidence. If he's not in the squad and the manager has also said, after the game, I'll tell you what's happening. Yeah, it's probably a transfer. Pixel says, was Chiesa brought to Hong Kong? Nope. They made like an announcement before the tour that Chiesa wasn't going. So I think Chiesa could also potentially be off. Malusi says hi. Hello, Malusi. Matthew says Rio is a top talent, but Chiesa was one of the best in Serie A. You don't lose that overnight. I hear you. And I think also with Chiesa, he hasn't really been given a fair chance. And if we were to sell Chiesa, like how much money would we get? Like 10, 15 million? Like is it really worth signing it? Is it really worth selling him for that much? That's nothing these days. He like last year he didn't get given a chance. Unless he's homesick and he just hates it here. Again, who was that there with the volley? Tyler Morton. Yeah, very strange the Chiesa stuff. Yeah, it's last season in particular and this season as well. Yeah, everyone gets on with him. Like he's well integrated in the team. Everyone seems to like him. Like he's not like training on his own kind of thing. It's just like what is the reason? What is the reason? Like he was not played. I predicted something we'll find out in like 4 or 5 years when we don't care anymore. But I'm a bit perplexed as to why he just didn't get a chance. Why he didn't get much game time. Here's Kirkes with a cross. Trainioni. Milan just got too many players back. Is someone playing now, bro? Yeah. Liverpool 1, AC Milan 3. Milan are playing. Liverpool are kind of playing-ish. Pixel says, I'd be homesick if I was to start football in my country and I don't even see a Carabao Cup minute. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, putting it that way. I mean, I'm curious as to why he didn't get any minutes. Like even like when we're like winning games, they never seem to kind of bring him on. I don't know. It will remain one of life's mysteries. SB says thoughts on Diaz and Nunes being left out. Well, my initial thoughts were, well, that's a bit odd. And then there was a tweet not from Arneslot, but there's a tweet where Arneslot basically said, I've left them out of the team and I'll let you know after the game why. And I think we all kind of predict that they're probably going to be off. They've probably got moves. Oh, it's a cooling break, which means cooling break for me as well. But yeah, I think we'll probably find out today that they're both probably gone. Oh, just managed to spill water on my face. Pixel says, how you been anyway, Uma bro? Yeah, not too bad. Surviving the heat. It's very humid in the UK as well. But yeah, not too bad. Played Silent Hill 2. Finished Silent Hill 2. I finished Clair Obscur. That was very good. Currently playing Doom the Dark Ages. I have no energy to stream it, but I am playing it. But yeah, that's keeping me occupied. How about you? How's the Football Manager going? Wednesday said he's always going to be backup, even if you hadn't performed and started the season so well. Very true. Zaim says Chiesa is on big wages and is apparently not in Hong Kong to do a specialized fitness program instead. I would sell Chiesa and Chiesa. Chiesa? Did I just say Chiesa? Well, I guess that's, if you're saying you want to sell Diaz and Chiesa, I guess the Chiesa does make sense. So I'd sell Chiesa and bring in Malik Fofana with Rio as my third choice. Yeah, I mean, Malik Fofana, another good young player. Apparently, he's available for quite cheap. I see the logic. I see the logic behind that. Yeah, Pixel's also waiting for the season to start. Doom is fun. I was trying to 100% the levels. Yeah, right now I was thinking about it. Shall I like 100% the levels, or shall I just play through it? Right now, I'm just playing through it, and then I finish a level, and it's like level complete, 23%. I'm like, how? So I'm just kind of, I wouldn't say speed running it, but I'm just following wherever I go. But I'm having fun. It's better than Doom Eternal, which is the last one. I didn't like Doom Eternal because there was far too much platforming. I'm not sure yet if it's better than Doom 2016. That might be my favorite. But it's good. It's good fun. I like the shield. I'm enjoying it. Trainioni hits it over. Come on, Trey. Pixels won the Champions League and the league 2 times in a row. You're bigger than Klopp. I think Liverpool need to build a Pixel statue outside Anfield at this point. SB would get rid of Diaz and have Rio the second choice in the Gakpo. You'd free up a lot of money there. So you'd basically be gaining £70 million, and then with the £17 million you raise from that, what would you do with that? Would you put it towards Isak? Would you put it towards the centre back? You'd have a bit of money. Pixel says, who's the backup left winger if Diaz gets sold? I don't really see Wirtz being used as a winger, as part of the reason he came was Slot was going to use him centrally. Yeah. I think there's a chance they go for somebody cheap. This Rio and Gamoa player, who's a 16-year-old that we've got from Chelsea. He looks very, very good. I'd go as far as to say he's been the star of pre-season. The only risk is kind of putting too much dependency in a 16-year-old when they've not developed, can lead to injuries. If I was to guess, I mean, there's rumours about Rodrigo, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, Chiesa could stay. Chiesa could play on the left. I reckon they'll go for another left winger. Even though I really like Rio, it's a concern him being 16 years old. Not a concern, but you know what I mean. Like, we're excited about Rio, but we need to take our time with him so we don't overplay him and injure him. Malusi says, what match are you watching next? I think there's another Liverpool game on Wednesday. I think Liverpool versus Yokohama. So that shall be the next one. Dot says, unpopular opinion, but Liverpool will be better if they don't get Isak and get a left winger and a centre back instead. I think a centre back in particular is seriously needed, because Joe Gomez got injured today. So our only two centre backs are Konate and Van Dijk, and let's be honest, Konate is going to get injured next week. So yeah, I think we badly need some sort of centre back. And SB has also said that they need a centre back badly. Pixel says, especially if Konate leaves next season, yeah, that's another thing that we need to kind of get to the bottom of. It feels like the emphasis has been on sorting out and developing the attack. And then once this is done, I don't think the midfield needs any kind of major revamp, but I'd hope centre-back positions. For the price of Isak, you can get Rodrigo and Gehi / Konza. True. It is 30 degrees C in Hong Kong, and it's 9 p.m. Oh yeah, it must be horrible. It must be horrible playing in those kind of conditions. I don't know. Says, I hope we face Milan in the Champions League. Yeah, because then we'd treat this game a bit more seriously, should we say. Matthew says, will Jal's second game of the season? I think it'll just take time. No Community Shield for us. I think we'll definitely have fully gelled by then. I would hope for a certain level of partial gelling before then. Ooh, who's that? Is that Ben Doak? Again, Ben Doak! Ben Doak, again, like, his skill is amazing and he beats his man. And the way he beats a player is amazing. But again, the same thing happens. His final ball is always terrible. Like, he'll do the hard bit in terms of beating the player. He'll do the hard bit in terms of doing a magical skill that no one's ever done before. He'll do the hard bit in terms of freeing up a bit of space. And then once he's done the hard bit, he'll just pass it right back. God, this guy frustrates me. And the reason why he frustrates me is because he has so much talent. Annoying as hell. I don't know. Says on the 30th of July, which I think is Wednesday, we play Yokohama. Yeah, should be a fairly straightforward win. Who's your realistic centre-back options to bring in right now? Gehi from Palace is the only one we seem to be linked with, but Gonzalo Inacio, he is another one. Derwood says, I don't know why they'd get rid of Kwanzaa before they have a replacement, especially when Gomez and Konate are injury prone. Very true. The part of me feels like, and part of me hopes like they've done that because they have a replacement lined up and they're just working out logistics. Although I don't know if I'm naive with that. Malusi says, a classic Liverpool FC right there. Yeah, Liao's looked very good, very effective whenever he gets the ball. I don't know, says 5 minutes left, stoppage time to come back. True, but you did say 3-1 at the start. Granted, you said 3-1 to Liverpool, but we'll ignore that. You did say 3-1 at the start, so if it stays like this, you can at least have some comfort in the fact that you were kind of correct-ish. Kwanzaa is also homegrown, so I would have kept him, but I'm glad he'll get more time at Leverkusen. Yeah, and he was on low wages as well. And additionally, Kwanzaa, I believe he signed a new contract in October, so like less than a year ago as well. He signed a new contract. Um, there were kind of multiple reasons to keep him. Apparently there is a buyback clause in his contract, which does give a certain level of comfort. Has this game got pens? Probably not if we lose 3-1. Al says, how are Liverpool playing? First half was better, to be fair. It's more of a kind of disjointed team with kind of youth team players mixed in with first team players. Like I'm not reading too much into it. Similar to how I didn't read too much into the 5-0 Stoke game. Gakpo's through. Gakpo, how are you missing the target from 2 yards away? That was atrocious. Gakpo should have scored there. Amy says, look at our defense. 5 defenders, 2 right back, 2 left back, left centre back. Yeah, it's kind of a mishmash of players. I think the first. I think the priority has been from a fitness perspective, I'd say. So it's kind of Tsimikas is playing centre back. Don Fredon, I'm not too sure. I'm watching it on the Liverpool website. Amy says we're not playing people in their position. Yeah, it has confirmed to me that I don't want to see Tsimikas play centre back. I hope so. I hope Tsimikas at centre back is not the solution to replacing Kwanzaa. I mean, I keep the same energy. Last week, everyone was not everyone, but people were getting overexcited about a 5-0 win versus Stoke. And I said, it's just a fitness exercise. It doesn't really matter. I think the Bilbao, even the Bilbao double-header won't really be a representative game because the Bilbao game, there's 2 games. So there's a 5 o'clock kickoff and there's an 8 o'clock kickoff. So even that won't be like representative because there's 2 games in one. Yeah, as Amy has said there, it's all about getting the fitness up in pre-season, 100%. Getting the fitness up and also preventing injury. And I guess a kind of third purpose we could perhaps say is to put some of the youth players in the shop window. We certainly saw that last year with kind of Carvalho was put in the shop. Carvalho got a lot of time in pre-season and then Carvalho was sold. Sepp Vandenberg got a lot of time. Sepp Vandenberg was sold. Tyler Morton is one, I think. Tyler Morton is one who I can see being sold because he played the start of this game and then they took him off and then they brought him back on again. So I think he's definitely in the shop window. Amy's going to be gutted if Nunes leaves. He's been on fire this pre-season. I think Nunes is going to leave because Nunes is not in the squad. So he's not even on the bench. And Diaz is also not in the squad. And Slot said before the game... I'll tell you what's going to happen with Nunes and Diaz after the game. So I think some news might come out about Nunes and Diaz after this game. But I think as Pixel was saying earlier, if they're not in the squad, then they're probably gonna be off. How you doing, Hampy? Anyone hating on Wirtz online just hasn't watched the game. They've checked Twitter. That's it. I thought Wirtz played quite well. I'd say Wirtz was the second best player. I felt like Wirtz was the second best player in the first half. He's not playing the second half, but I thought Rio looked the most lively, and I think Wirtz looked the second most lively. It can't be that bad, Melusi. It's like we're being managed by Ten Hag. We need to concede 4 more goals, and then maybe. Amy says the fact Nunes and Diaz left out, they are leaving. Gomez went home because he's injured. Yeah, Gomez is returning to England. Unfortunately, picked up a Achilles injury, I believe. But I think that reiterates. The need to get centre back cover, because Gomez is going to get injured during the season, and I think what's his name, Konate, is going to get injured during the season. So it reiterates the need to get a defender in, whether it's Gahey from Crystal Palace or anybody. I don't know. It says, if you come back in these last minutes, I will give you all my money. That's okay. If we come back, I will give you all my money. That's more fair. Yeah, 4 minutes. 4 minutes of injury time. Yeah, as Amy says there, it is about the fitness. That's why kind of we see these kind of weird formations, I think, with kind of Tsimikas at centre back. First half we had Gravenberch at centre back, and we had Szoboszlai in Gravenberch's position. NHLFC, as long as we do well next season with our new team, we don't have to worry about pre-season. Yeah, I mean, pre-season is kind of never anything to worry about. When Liverpool won the league in 2020, they lost every single game in pre-season. It's like a fitness thing. If pre-season was something that kind of mattered, you'd see the first team play 85 minutes, right? You'd see kind of Alisson, and then maybe Frimpong, Konate, Van Dijk, Kerkez. But you didn't see that. Currently, we've got Mamadashvili. Ooh, Gakpo scored a header. Gakpo, why are you celebrating, Gakpo? don't, what are you doing, Gakpo? But it's 3-2. And again, nothing to get overly excited about, because just pre-season, it's a fitness thing. I wonder who did the cross. It looked like a cross from deep. So who got the assist? Oh, it's Konate. Konate with a nice little pass. Amy says Cody. Pixel says great header. Nice header, to be fair. Mamadashvili quite high off his line, which is interesting. Oh God, what's he done? I think it's 4. I did call that, to be fair. I said Mamadashvili is quite high on his line. What's he doing? Oh, that's what he's doing. Oh my God. You just gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh at that. Yeah, he's no Alisson. Malusi says that's more like it. Well, I think that was in reference to the Cody goal. I think it was a pass back by. I mean, it's hard to kind of see who's at fault there. Maybe Simikas's pass back was not very good. But never mind. Amy says, yeah, he's not as good as Alisson with his feet, yeah. I think I do think we take Alisson lightly sometimes. I love that tribute to Jota on the top all season. Yeah, a full time. So it's full time here. Apparently, there's gonna be like a Forever 20 insignia on the shirt. I don't think it's gonna be the exact one they're wearing today. I think. I don't think anyway. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see it. It's just me says, have you read the statement regarding Isak? Probably. Which one specifically? SB says, oh, that's horror. I just seen it. Yeah. I was like, what? Why is Mamadesh really so high? Oh, well, he shouldn't have been. And Head says, unlucky the Reds. Amy thinks it is. Okay. Interesting. It looks pretty nice. Looks pretty nice either way. Newcastle statement from Saudi owners, no, but I'll have a look. I'll have a look now. But it would be nice to be on all the Liverpool tops as a tribute for Jota, like the '97. Yeah, apparently it will be. Apparently it will be next year for the Adidas kits. SH says a fair play to Milan there. Yeah, fair play. Stay awake. Didn't kind of fall asleep. Where can I find this statement? It's just me. I'm looking for this statement, but I can't find it. Is there anywhere in particular? Is there any place in particular I should be looking? I don't know. So there's 3 games, 10 goals, 5 conceded. Before the game, it was 8-1. Milan are better than I expected. Oh my God, Isak to United. Yeah, at least make it believable, like Isak to Chelsea or something. Like Isak wants to leave, but he's not dumb. We should get Isak. From what we've heard, he only wants us. Yeah, apparently there's some sort of statement somewhere, but I can't find it. Yeah, supporters can get that on their top. Yeah. Apparently, it's gonna be on all the Adidas kits. Amy says, I don't think Isak, to be honest. Go for him next season. Too many changes are going to mess up the team. Yeah, that is a slight concern. I think we were speaking about this earlier. That are we making too many changes to a winning formula from last year? I guess we'll find out this season. Saudi owners have. Where is this? It's just me. I'm on Twitter, but like I can't see anything. See what I mean? All I can see is James Pearce with James Pearce standing in the middle of a bunch of fans who look very happy. They all look very happy. Like all the fans look very happy. Even James Pearce looks very happy. But this fan here is not happy. The little boy is not very happy. But everyone else looks happy. They might think that James Pearce is more famous than he is. I don't know. But yeah, let me know if you know where that statement is. I'll put it on the screen. Yeah, just a fitness exercise. Malusi says 2-4, absolute horror. DP Rodrigo would rather have Rodrigo and Mark Gahey than Isak. Fair enough. Luca says it's a preseason friendly, but from this game we need another centre back. We do, especially with Gomez getting injured. Because with Gomez getting injured, then you only have Van Dijk and Kanate as centre backs, and let's be honest, Kanate is also going to get injured. So in reality, you only have Van Dijk, and they were playing Simicast at centre back today, and it didn't really seem to work. Yeah, I can't find this statement. Isak doesn't want to go Saudi. Malusi says cap. Can't sleep tonight. Nah, Liverpool lost. Yeah, rest weekend ruined. Yeah, to be honest, I'll probably forget about this result in like the next hour. Yeah, Endo can play centre back. I'd like to see like some sort of I'd like to see some sort of actual centre back. You know what I mean? Yeah, just a friendly on me head. That's why not particularly fussed about it. That's why I was kind of laughing when when AC Milan were through. I can't wait till this guy's back. This guy being back, and I mean the one in the middle. I quite like his water bottle as well. He's got like a little design on it. Amy wants an ice cream to cheer up. Did you hear the ice cream van? Did you hear it? Is that where that came from? Because there's one outside my house. All right, you heard it. Fair enough. I was thinking like, when you said it, and I was like, hold on, that's making a bit too much sense. And then I was like, it's that. It's just drove. It's just drove off. Pixel also wants something. Unfortunately, it's just drove off. Next time you'll have to tell me earlier. I'll get you guys something. It might melt by the time it gets to you, Pixel, in New Jersey. But I'll try sending it in the post. See what I can do. Malusi says his water bottle looks sus. I thought it looked quite good. It did have him kissing his girlfriend on it, a bit too romantically. But I'm like, hey, it's his water bottle. What can you say? Yeah, we're definitely missing McAllister. Rai James is not particularly happy with Mamadashvili. How did Liverpool get on, says Johnson? 2-4 to AC Milan. Where is the press conference? Yeah, pretty much. I would be like refreshing. I am refreshing Twitter. If anything comes up, I'll show it. The reason why I switch away is because like sometimes it starts playing video, and I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble. rsync22, is that in reference to the computer program called rsync, or is that in reference to something else? To be honest, like I'm not gonna kind of rush into any sort of conclusions based on a preseason game. This tweet I'd probably agree with. Don't know if you guys can say it properly. Standout performers today. First half Rio. They've spelled Ngamoa wrong, but I'll let them off. Rio, Florian Wirtz, Szoboszlai and Salah. I'd say especially the first three. I thought Salah was okay, but I thought the first three, Rio in particular was very good. I thought Wirtz was good. I thought Szoboszlai was good. Second half, yeah, Frimpong looked lively. Malusi says we need a solid centre back. I agree with you 100%. I need somebody who can kind of challenge Kanate for a spot. Because I don't know if it's too greedy to kind of want somebody who's a similar sort of level to Kanate, if you know what I mean. David says Zabani from Bournemouth, potentially. Yeah, I'm just looking for this press conference here. Nothing as of yet. Johnson says, should go all out for a centre-back if I were Liverpool and get Isak next season. I hear where you're coming from. I think centre-back needs to be the priority. I would look to see if they can get both. But I understand where you're coming from with respect to kind of centre-back being a high priority area. I think especially with kind of Gomez just getting injured again. Like, I love Joe Gomez. I would keep him around. But Gomez is going to get injured. Konate is going to get injured. And I think with Kwanzaa going as well, we need cover and we need competition. David says, we still have a lot to spend, yet we need to spend it wisely. Very true. We don't want to waste money on the Anthonys and the Casemiros of this world. Johnson says, I support Newcastle here, but do Liverpool really need a striker? You've got two decent centre-backs. I think there's definitely an argument that centre-back is a higher priority area than striker. Like, I think both are needed. But I think a lot of it is kind of dictated by who's available on the market. I think if Isak is available, you could definitely say he's top 3 in the world. Whereas, are there any kind of centre-backs who are available who are top 3 in the world? I'm not sure. Like, Mark Gahey's good. And I'd get him in. Whereas if there was like a new kind of Van Dijk available, like if you had a choice between like 100 million on Isak versus 100 million on a new Van Dijk, I might lean towards the new Van Dijk. You know what I mean? I think I'm explaining this terribly. But I hope it's like Isak is available and it feels like a once in 10-year opportunity. Whereas Gahey feels like he'd be available every year if we wanted him. Omar says we need a centre-back desperately. Agree. Malusi says we need a solid centre-back. Football is not only about attack, we also need to be able to defend. Very true. There's no point scoring 3 goals if you then concede 5 goals. Omar says we're very poor in that part of defence. Pixel says I get you. Gahey isn't Van Dijk level. Yeah, he doesn't really move the needle. I don't even know if he's better than Konate, but he's better than Gomez, who'd be the third choice, if that makes sense. David says just need a total rebuild in the centre halves. Yeah, I think the official kind of centre half rebuild that will probably happen next year, because I think next year there's a chance Konate might be at Madrid, and I think next year also Van Dijk will have 1 year left on his contract. So I think with respect to kind of a full rebuild, that could happen next year. From a centre back perspective, yeah, and as Johnson said there, the whole Konate Madrid situation. SB says I've seen that Konate doesn't want and wants to stay. It's just FSG don't want to give him that money. It depends what he's asking. It depends what he's asking, I guess. Like as an example, I believe Van Dijk's on 400 grand a week. If Konate wants 400 grand a week, that would be a no. But if he wants 200 grand a week, which is kind of roughly what Saliba gets, I think that's fair. Malusi thinks Axel Disasi would be a great signing. Yeah, there's players out there. I think there's definitely players out there who would improve those aspects of the team. David says we need to stop signing Dutch players. Yeah. The advantage is, like, I normally find international football quite boring. So the advantage is when international football is on, I'll just watch Netherlands because it feels like you're watching Liverpool. I'm like, okay, so it's Gravenberch, it's Van Dijk, it's Gakpo, it's Frimpong. I'm basically watching Liverpool. So yeah, it's quite funny. SB says SB wouldn't mind Konza. Johnson's also says definitely need to start looking for Konza or something. Yeah, need to get a starter because Konate is gonna get injured. It's not even a case of if Konate gets injured now. It's Konate is gonna get injured next year. So who's gonna play when he's injured? David rates Gomez, but he's just not Liverpool quality. And I think with the injuries as well, it's I like him. I like his versatility. I like the fact that he counts as homegrown, but it's just the injuries. It makes it hard to rely on someone, I think. Again, he got injured. He got injured during pre-season training. And he also got that injury for training with England a few years back, which was probably the worst injury he had. So we just need somebody who is reliable and is available. Yeah, bring James Milner back. It's crazy how James Milner was still topping all the performance metrics at like 50 years old. So Bosley's got man of the match. He has the Hong Kong Football Festival trophy. I'm sure that will go on his mantelpiece. He was playing in a deeper role today. It was probably a sign of things to come. David says, I think we need to play Bajcetic next season. He's very good when he played. I think he's out injured again. I would have liked to have seen him get some minutes in this preseason that we're playing now, but unfortunately I think he's injured again. Yeah, I think he might be injured. I'm not seeing any press conference stuff. I think for the next game, which is on Wednesday, I think it's Wednesday morning, which is fantastic timing. I'd like to see more of a kind of first team, playing both the first team fullbacks. Not 100% full team because it's potentially still a bit early for that, but it might be time to start integrating McAllister back into the team. It might be time to start playing first team fullbacks. Ekitike maybe off the bench. Yeah, I think he's injured. SB says, did you see the new Fantastic Four? Great movie. I have not. I've seen the new Superman movie. Superman movie was very good. I'm not seeing the new Fantastic Four. Apparently it's got Galactus in it. who I remember from the X-Men cartoons back in the day. But no, everyone's saying it's really good. Everyone's saying it's really good. And SB is also saying highly recommended. I might need to check that out then. I was experiencing like superhero fatigue to a certain degree after like Infinity War. We had like Eternals, which was rubbish. Had some other thing with Captain Marvel in it, which was rubbish. We had the new Thor movie. I thought was okay. Everyone hated that. But Superman I really enjoyed. I thought I'd recommend that. But yeah, it seems like Fantastic Four is quite good as well. I might need to check it out because everyone's saying it's good. David says, I think we should have signed Gertruder at the start. Possibly. Liverpool goal, says the Disassi. Come on, bro. Lol. Rasco says, when it's pens. I presume there's no pens. I've turned it off. Is there penalties? I presume there's no penalties because I've turned it off. That would be very silly of me. Yeah, I'm just waiting. Everyone here is like looking forward to hearing from Slot. I wanna kind of hear what the news is. I want to hear kind of what the news is with respect to Diaz and Nunes. Yeah, I don't think so. They did start like a weird thing. Was it last year? Or was it on one of these international tournaments where even though the game didn't need penalties, they'd just do penalties at the end anyway to make it a bit of a spectacle? But I don't think there's any penalties today. Especially when Sabaz, we saw that picture of Sabazlai getting the award, right? So yeah, I think you're right. Chelsea literally want to get rid of Disassi because he's no good. True. And I think we will leave buying Chelsea's scraps to Arsenal. That's more of an Arsenal thing now I think about it. Still no news. Oh, I found McAllister's water bottle again. Was it Malusi who wasn't very happy about it? I don't see the issue. I bet you as soon as I go offline, that's when they'll release this news. I found this. I don't know how much truth there is in this. It says Alexander Isak is expected to join Liverpool once their pre-season tour has concluded. There are rumours that the club may hold off on an announcement until the new Adidas deal begins. Okay, is there a verified source? No, but will I get excited about it? Yes. David says, I just hope we don't play like that during the league. We won't. We won't have like a mishmashed team full of youngsters and some senior players, and then we won't rotate the team at half time, and then at 60 minutes we won't then bring youngsters back on. Liverpool Goal says, why are people losing their heads about a pre-season match? I've supported this club since 1990. Back then, pre-season meant nothing. It's not like the team from the second half of the start. Yeah, it's just... I was laughing when Mamadashvili got the ball. I was like, to the point. And then when Milan scored, I just started laughing again. For me, it's a bit of fun. It's a bit of fun to watch, but like I don't read anything into losses. And I had the similar reaction last week when we won 5-0. I'm like, it's pre-season. It's Stoke. Who cares? This is a fitness activity. Get players back up to speed. It's to try out new things. It's to try out the youngsters. And it's to also put the youngsters in the shop window. Like Tyler Morton started the game. He came off. And then Tyler Morton came back on again. In reality, that's not going to happen. In reality, McAllister is going to be playing that position. But McAllister's drinking from his bottle on the sideline because he's still being rested. So from my perspective, and I see also from your perspective, it's not really anything to read too much into, regardless of if we lose or we win. Like if we won this game 7-0, but Salah got injured, I'd say that's worse than losing it 7-0. Yeah, he's always got... I like how he's got like a customized bottle thing going on. Players used to smoke half-time at the 90s. Yeah, the 90s were wild. Smoke half-time and like be not the best kind of physical condition, you could say. Wirtz looked amazing. Yeah, Wirtz did look very good. Rasko said, "You'll win the Prem probably." Yeah, they'd still be my favourites to win it. I'd say. Yeah, I'd say most people aren't losing their heads. There are some on Twitter, but it seems. I don't want to say what I think because it's not very nice. David just wants to see Liverpool do well. That is true. Rasko said Liao got robbed. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think Liao. I think Liao probably should have been man of the match. Liao is very good. You will always get that. Yeah, people are asking why did we change the whole 11, and again, it's like you don't. If that's something that you're complaining about, then you don't understand what pre-season is. David can't wait for the Ekitike cameo. That will be nice. I think he'll maybe come off the bench. He'll maybe come off the bench against Yokohama on Wednesday. Tsimikas also playing centre back. Again, Tsimikas could be in the shop window. Why were the Liverpool fans booing Estupinian and Salamakers? I'm not. I've got it muted. You'd have to tell me. SB says, what number for Ekitike? They're using temporary numbers because I think they'll announce the proper numbers later. I think so. I think he's got 56 at the moment, but it's just a kind of temporary thing. Oh, 62. Yeah, I knew there was a 6 in there somewhere. Yeah. Oh, but what should he get? David thinks he should get number 14. I mean, what numbers are available? It depends kind of what numbers are available and who else has the other numbers. I mean, if we think about departures for a second, I think Diaz is going to go. So I think the number 7 shirt will be free. But I've always said, I think Diaz goes and I think Wirtz gets a number 7 shirt. Nunes could go. So the number 9 would be available. But if Isak does join, it feels like Isak might get the number 9. But then Isak did have number 14 at Newcastle. So if Chiesa goes, and number 14 is available. What other numbers are generally available? Like number 12. It depends kind of what's available at the time, I think. Liverpool Gold says, for sure losing ain't nice, but losing a pre-season match when we've lost in pre-seasons many times before is laughable. Yeah, it's like, as long as nobody gets injured, I'm happy. And like, most of us had the same reaction when we beat Stoke 5-0. Again, it's like, if nobody gets injured, we're all good. Yeah, they weren't there. Pre-season's not about winning. It's about just keeping the squad fit, ensuring there's no injuries, and going from there. David, can't wait for the league to start. Yeah, me neither. Looking forward to seeing proper football again, where kind of both teams are giving it 100%. I'm looking forward to seeing multiple games per week. We're in a pretty boring period at the moment. I can't lie. But once the competitive stuff starts again, that's when the fun begins. We never have a good pre-season other than last year. True. I think when we won the league in 2020, I think we lost every single pre-season game. Liverpool Goal says, losing your marbles about losing in pre-season is laughable. It is. Again, I'm about to say things, then I stop myself because I don't have nice things to say. But yeah. Can't wait for the derby too, yeah. A lot of good games coming up. Razko says Rio was really good too. He was really good. His ability to get past his fullback is amazing, especially for somebody who's only 16. I'd like to see him be given some level of chance in the first team next season. Obviously not starting games. Not that I don't think he has the ability, because he does. But I think it's more, he's 16, he's still growing, he's still developing. We don't want to start overplaying him to the point where he starts getting injuries. But yeah. He's somebody to be excited about. Yeah, I think that's a good way of kind of introducing him into the team. Play him in cups, maybe bring him on towards the end of games. That sort of thing. This type of thing I absolutely despise. 1-1 Liverpool. Sabazai with an absolutely sensational goal. And it's like, how many exclamation marks? Are you mad? How many exclamation marks? It's like, are you really that desperate for like £1 from this tweet? It's like, it's pre-season, man. Even though that's Liverpool scoring. Yeah, I hate that. I just block. Even though he's celebrating a Liverpool goal, it's like, mate, it's pre-season. Why have you done 30 exclamation marks in pre-season? I just straight up block. Even if they're bigging up Liverpool, but even then, it's like, I don't want to see that. This guy looks like David Williams. Best to stay off social media because the trolls are in full force. To a certain degree, I think I've blocked most of them, to be fair. It does, doesn't it? Razko Says, but what happens if he doesn't get playing time? Is teams noticing him, and will he play in Newcastle or something like that in 3 years? I'd say in particular with Rio, probably not. So Rio and Gamoa, he is, strictly speaking, he's a Chelsea kind of youth team player, and we stole him from Chelsea with the promise that we're gonna play you, we're gonna develop you. We're not just gonna loan you out to somewhere in Germany and hope that you turn out. We're gonna prioritize you. We're gonna look after you. We're gonna play you. So I hope kind of with Rio, with Rio specifically, he's given that opportunity, and I think he is being given that opportunity. But I think it's a case of just kind of finding the fine balance between giving him the opportunity and not overplaying him, I think. SB says we've offered him a lot of money after his scholarship, supposedly. Yeah, I think that helps. Yeah, I think his parents must have been like, yeah, we're moving up north. I'm just waiting for this news, but I don't think it's gonna come. It's probably gonna be something later. Yeah, because they did say the slot the slot stuff would be after the game, but it doesn't look like it's coming. So I think I'm probably gonna go. But I'll be back on Wednesday. The game timing is a bit unfortunate. I'm lucky I've got that day off, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to do it. But yeah, be back on Wednesday. We'll see what happens with this slot news. I don't see anything else coming out, but yeah, better go. Take care, Rasco. Take care, SB227. Take care, Malusi. It was great watching along. See you soon. Yeah, see you soon, guys. See you soon. Take care. Have a nice weekend. Cheers, guys.